Good evening, everyone. Let me ask you something. Are you here today because you're comfortable? Because you're perfectly satisfied with where you are in life? No, you're here because deep inside, there's a voice. It may whisper, it may roar, but it's there, telling you this isn't it, telling you there's another level waiting for you. That voice is the desire to get better. Growth is a necessity, not an option. Life itself is a testament to this truth. Everything around us, plants, animals, ecosystems, exists in a constant state of evolution. The moment something stops growing, it begins to deteriorate. In nature, stagnation is death, and the same applies to us as human beings. Too many people settle for less than they're capable of because they confuse comfort with happiness, routine with security, and stagnation with stability. But the truth is, there's no such thing as standing still in life. You're either moving forward or falling behind. There is no middle ground. The moment you decide to stop pushing yourself, you don't just stay where you are, you begin to decline. Look at anyone who has achieved great things in any area of life. Do you think they stopped when they reached one milestone? Of course not. The most fulfilled individuals understand that growth is an ongoing journey. It's not about reaching one goal and thinking, I've made it. Instead, it's about constantly striving to elevate yourself to the next level. Growth isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily commitment. And when you neglect it, the cost is far greater than you might realize. So let's find that happy medium. Stagnation feels deceptively safe. It whispers, you've done enough, just stay here. But over time, that false comfort becomes a trap. It leads to boredom, dissatisfaction, and eventually a sense of regret. Life is too short and too precious to settle for a version of yourself that's less than what you're capable of becoming. Every day offers you an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to be better than you were yesterday. Every day wishes you an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to be better than you were yesterday. But here's the thing, growth doesn't happen automatically. It requires conscious effort, intention, and yes, a bit of discomfort. That discomfort, it's a sign you're moving in the right direction. Think about a muscle when it's being worked out. It doesn't grow without resistance. The same is true for you. Growth demands that you step outside of your comfort zone, face challenges head on, and do the hard things even when they don't feel good in the moment. The reward isn't instant gratification. It's the transformation that comes with persevering through the process. When you prioritize growth as a necessary, not an option, you begin to view challenges differently. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, you start recognizing them as opportunities for expansion. It's important to understand that this mindset doesn't mean you'll never feel fear or self-doubt. Everyone does. The difference lies in what you choose to do with those feelings. Do you let them paralyze you, or do you use them as fuel to propel yourself forward? People who embrace growth aren't fearless. They've simply decided that their desire to evolve is stronger than their fear of failure. Growth also requires an honest assessment of where you are now and where you want to be. It's not about self-criticism or dwelling on your shortcomings. It's about having the courage to acknowledge that you're not yet where you want to be, and that's okay. This honesty allows you to take ownership of your growth. You stop blaming external circumstances and take full responsibility for your progress. That kind of accountability is empowering because it puts the power squarely in your hands. When you treat growth as a necessity, you stop asking, why me, and start asking, what's next? You develop the resilience to keep moving forward no matter the setbacks. Life will throw challenges your way. This is unavoidable. But how you respond to those challenges defines who you are and what you're capable of achieving. Growth equips you to handle whatever life brings, turning each setback into a setup for your next breakthrough. Compete only with yourself, not others. In a world that constantly showcases the highlights of other people's lives, it's easy to get caught up in the comparison game. Social media, conversations, and even casual interactions often make it seem like everyone else is ahead in some area of life, whether it's career, relationships, health, or wealth. But the truth is, comparing yourself to others is a race you can never win. Why? Because their journey isn't your journey. Their challenges, experiences, and even their definitions of success are completely different from yours. When you measure your progress against someone else's path, you rob yourself of the opportunity to appreciate and focus on your own growth. Life isn't about trying to be better than someone else. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. The moment you shift your focus from external comparisons to internal improvement, everything changes. You begin to see your life as uniquely yours. Instead of feeling envy or frustration because someone seems to be further ahead, you start asking yourself, am I moving closer to my own goals? Am I becoming the person I aspire to be? Second, this is where true fulfillment comes from, knowing you are living up to your potential, not someone else's expectations. Competing with yourself also gives you control. When you compare yourself to others, you hand over your power because their success is determined by factors outside your control. Maybe they started with more resources, had different opportunities, or faced fewer obstacles. Focusing on their progress doesn't help you because you can't influence their journey. However, when you turn the attention inward and compete with yourself, you have full control over the process. You can set your own benchmarks, measure your own progress, and celebrate your own victories, no matter how small they may seem. Another reason to focus solely on competing with yourself is that external comparisons can distort your perspective. Someone's outward success might look impressive, but you don't see the sacrifices, struggles, and failures they endured to get there. You don't know the full story. What appears to be an easy achievement could be the result of years of unseen effort. Trying to match or surpass someone else's visible accomplishments without understanding their journey is not only misguided, but also unfair to yourself. When you compete with yourself, you base your efforts on something real, your own strengths, weaknesses, progress, and potential. It's also important to understand that growth isn't linear. There will be times when it feels like you're moving backward or standing still. When you compete with others, these moments can feel like failures because you'll always see someone who seems to be advancing while you're stuck. But when your focus is on self-improvement, these plateaus become part of the process. You begin to recognize that setbacks aren't permanent, they're opportunities to learn and adjust. You begin to recognize that setbacks aren't permanent. They're opportunities to learn and adjust. The only standard you need to measure against is your own capacity for growth, and that gives you the freedom to experiment, fail, and try again without the burden of unnecessary pressure. And so you can try more things. Competing with yourself also fosters self-respect and confidence. When you set personal goals and work diligently to achieve them, you build trust in your own abilities. You prove to yourself that you're capable of growth, no matter the circumstances. This inner confidence cannot be shaken by anyone else's achievements because it's rooted in the knowledge that you are doing your best to improve based on your own terms. Over time, this mindset strengthens your resilience and your determination, allowing you to push through challenges that might have once felt insurmountable. The idea of competing with yourself instead of others aligns with the concept of authenticity. You're not trying to fit into someone else's mold or chase after goals that don't align with who you are. Instead, you're crafting a life that reflects your unique values, dreams, and aspirations. By focusing on your own growth, you free yourself from the exhausting pursuit of external validation, finding deeper satisfaction in knowing that your efforts are meaningful and aligned with your true self. Improvement requires intentional effort, not chance. Far too often, people fall into the trap of thinking that improvement will just happen over time, as if life itself will somehow hand them the tools and opportunities to grow without them lifting a finger. But real progress doesn't work that way. Growth is not a passive experience. It's an active choice, and that choice must be backed by consistent, focused effort. Sitting back and hoping for better circumstances, more skills, or greater opportunities to come your way is a recipe for disappointment. If you want to get better, you have to step into the driver's seat and make it happen. It's not where it starts and ends. It's the start, the middle, and the finish line. Intentional effort starts with clarity. Before you can improve in any area of your life, you need to define what improvement looks like for you. What does success mean in this specific context? Is it mastering a new skill, enhancing your physical or mental well-being, strengthening relationships? Whatever the goal, you can't aimlessly hope for progress without knowing exactly what you're aiming for. As a teammate, intentionality begins with setting clear, actionable goals and developing a roadmap for how you will achieve them. Without this clarity, your energy and focus will be scattered, making meaningful improvement nearly impossible. Effort without intention is like running in a circle. It feels like movement, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Many people mistake being busy for making progress. They fill their days with tasks and activities that may seem productive but aren't aligned with their true goals. True intentional effort means identifying what actions will move the needle and putting your energy there. It requires prioritization and the discipline to stay focused, even when distractions are abundant. This often means saying no to things that don't serve your bigger purpose, which can be difficult but is essential for success. One of the key aspects of intentional effort is consistency. Improvement is rarely the result of a single extraordinary effort. It's the outcome of small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Think of the power of compounding. Just as small investments can grow exponentially in value over time, consistent effort accumulates into meaningful progress. But this requires patience. Many people abandon their goals because they don't see immediate results, failing to realize that most meaningful improvement happens gradually. It's not about doing something extraordinary once. It's about showing up and giving your best effort day after day. On July 6th and 7th, 1959, the summit of Everest was actually reached. Intentional effort also demands a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. Growth requires challenging yourself, trying new things, and pushing beyond your current limits. It's uncomfortable, and that discomfort can be tempting to avoid. However, the very discomfort you feel is often a sign that you're on the right track. Improvement doesn't come from doing what's easy. It comes from embracing the hard, uncomfortable things that force you to adapt and expand. Intentional effort means seeking out these challenges instead of shying away from them, understanding that each one brings you closer to your goals. It's equally important to measure your progress along the way. Improvement requires feedback, both from others and from yourself. Without tracking your progress, you have no way of knowing if your efforts are working or if you need to adjust your approach. This is why intentional effort involves regular self-reflection. Take time to evaluate what's working, what's not, and where you can improve. Be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. And don't be afraid to pivot if your current strategies aren't producing results. Another critical component of intentional effort is resilience. The path to improvement is never smooth. Setbacks, failures, and challenges are inevitable. What separates those who grow from those who don't is how they respond to these obstacles. Intentional effort means viewing every setback as an opportunity to learn and grow. It's about maintaining your commitment to improvement, even when progress feels slow or circumstances become difficult. This resilience is a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. And over time, it becomes one of your greatest assets on the journey to self-improvement. Improvement also requires an investment of time, energy, and sometimes resources. You have to make deliberate choices about where to allocate these limited assets, ensuring they go toward things that truly matter to you. This often means sacrificing short-term comforts or pleasures in favor of long-term growth. It's not always easy, but the rewards are worth it. When you commit to putting in the necessary effort with intention and purpose, you give yourself the best possible chance of achieving meaningful improvement and unlocking your full potential. Progressive, not perfection, should be your standard. One of the biggest barriers to growth is the idea that you must be perfect to move forward. People often delay taking action or even starting a journey toward improvement because they fear not doing it perfectly from the outset. This mindset keeps you stuck, focusing on what you haven't mastered rather than what you can achieve by simply moving forward. True progress doesn't come from flawless execution. It comes from consistent effort over time. It's the willingness to take imperfect steps, make mistakes, and learn from them that propels you forward. Perfection is a mirage. It gives the illusion of something attainable but constantly shifts out of reach the closer you get. The pursuit of perfection can lead to frustration, self-doubt, and even procrastination. It can cause you to overanalyze, second-guess yourself, or become paralyzed by the fear of failure. But when progress becomes your standard, you shift your focus to the actions that actually make a difference. You begin to measure success by your growth, not by how flawlessly you perform. Every small step forward becomes a victory, and those victories add up over time to create significant change. Focusing on progress also allows you to embrace the learning process. Growth is rarely a straight line. It's filled with highs and lows, successes and setbacks. When you adopt a progress-centered mindset, you start to see setbacks as part of the journey rather than as signs of failure. Each misstep becomes an opportunity to gain insight, improve, and develop resilience. This perspective helps you maintain momentum because you're no longer burdened by unrealistic expectations of perfection. Instead, you're free to experiment, take risks, and adjust your approach as needed. Another powerful benefit of prioritizing progress over perfection is the sense of accomplishment it brings. Small wins are incredibly motivating, and when you allow yourself to celebrate them, you build the confidence needed to keep moving forward. This doesn't mean settling for mediocrity or avoiding high standards. It means recognizing that excellence is achieved through incremental improvements, not unattainable ideals. Perfection can feel overwhelming, but progress is manageable. It breaks big, intimidating goals into smaller, actionable steps, making the path forward clearer and more achievable. Focusing on progress also cultivates a healthier relationship with yourself. Perfectionism often leads to harsh self-criticism and an endless cycle of feeling like you're never good enough. Perfectionism often leads to practicing and feeling like you're never good enough, so persistency and boldness are key elements to your success. Perfectionism often leads to healthy. When progress becomes the goal, you shift your perspective to appreciate your efforts and acknowledge the growth you've already achieved. This doesn't mean ignoring areas for improvement. It means approaching them with kindness and self-compassion. You begin to understand that making mistakes or falling short doesn't define your worth. It's simply a part of growing and evolving. The pursuit of perfection can also narrow your focus in unproductive ways. You may become so obsessed with getting everything exactly right that you miss opportunities for creativity, innovation, and adaptability. Progress, on the other hand, encourages you to stay open-minded and flexible. It allows you to adapt to changing circumstances and explore new possibilities without being constrained by rigid expectations. This adaptability not only accelerates your growth, but also makes the journey more enjoyable and fulfilling. Progress over perfection also reinforces the value of persistence. When you chase perfection, you may give up easily if things don't go as planned or if your efforts don't yield immediate results. But when your focus is on progress, you understand that growth takes time and that setbacks are temporary. You learn to keep going, even when the results are slow or uneven, because you trust that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. This persistence builds resilience, and over time, it becomes one of your most valuable tools for achieving success. Finally, progress allows you to enjoy the journey. Perfectionism often places all the value on the outcome, making you blind to the meaningful moments along the way. But when progress is your standard, you begin to appreciate the process itself. You find joy in the effort, pride in your small achievements, and fulfillment in knowing that you're continually moving forward. This mindset shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible, and it opens a door to a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction. Start now. Don't wait for permission or the perfect plan. One of the most common mistakes people make is waiting for the right moment to take action. They believe there will be some magical day when all the conditions are ideal, the stars align, and everything feels perfectly safe to begin. But here's the reality. That perfect moment doesn't exist. Life is always changing. Circumstances are never fully under your control. And waiting only creates more hesitation, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. The longer you delay, the further you get from your goals, because the momentum you need to create never gets started. Taking action now is the only way to break the cycle of inaction. Often the hardest step is the first one, but it's also the most important. It doesn't matter if you don't feel ready or if the path ahead seems unclear. The truth is, you will never feel entirely ready, and clarity often comes through the process of doing, not through overthinking. When you take the first step, even if it's small, you create momentum. That momentum gives you the confidence and direction to take the next step, and then the one after that. Action leads to more action, and before you know it, you're making progress that seemed impossible when you were stuck in the planning phase. Perfectionism is one of the biggest roadblocks to starting now. People often convince themselves that they need every detail worked out, every potential problem solved, and every contingency planned for before they can begin. But this mindset ignores an essential truth. No plan survives contact with reality. You can strategize all you want, but there will always be unexpected challenges, changes, and lessons along the way. The best way to prepare for these is to start and adjust as you go. Action provides real-world feedback, and that feedback is far more valuable than any amount of theoretical preparation. Another reason people hesitate to start is the fear of failure. They worry that if they don't get everything right the first time, they'll face criticism, embarrassment, or wasted effort. But failure is not the opposite of progress. It's a vital part of it. Starting now allows you to fail faster, learn from your mistakes, and course correct more quickly. Each failure teaches you something new about what works and what doesn't, and every lesson brings you closer to success. The only true failure is never starting in the first place. There's also a tendency to wait for external validation or permission to begin. You might think you need someone else's approval, support, or acknowledgement before you can move forward, but the truth is, you don't need anyone to give you the green light to pursue your dreams or improve your life. The only permission you need is your own. When you stop seeking validation from others and take ownership of your decisions, you gain the freedom to act on your terms and at your own pace. Starting now doesn't mean being reckless or jumping in without thought. It means taking the best action you can with the resources, knowledge, and skills you currently have. It means accepting that you won't have all the answers right away and trusting that you'll figure them out along the way. The act of starting itself is a declaration of commitment to growth and progress. It says, I'm not waiting for things to be perfect because I know I can create something better starting today. Starting today, procrastination is often fueled by overthinking. The more you analyze, weigh options, and try to predict every outcome, the more overwhelming the task seems. This analysis paralysis can trap you in a cycle of indecision where nothing ever gets done. The cure for this is action. Even a small step forward breaks the mental loop and creates a sense of accomplishment. It doesn't matter if the step is perfect. What matters is that it moves you closer to your goals. The truth is, time is your most valuable resource, and every moment you spend waiting is a moment you'll never get back. The sooner you start, the more time you have to build momentum, make mistakes, learn, and grow. Life doesn't pause for you to feel ready or prepared. It keeps moving, and the opportunities available to you today might not be there tomorrow. Starting now ensures that you're actively participating in your own growth and not leaving your future to chance or circumstance. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. The people in your life shape your mindset, habits, and ultimately your destiny. You cannot underestimate the impact your environment has on your growth. When you surround yourself with individuals who challenge you to be better, support your aspirations, and push you to exceed your limits, you create a powerful foundation for success. On the other hand, if you spend your time with people who discourage growth, settle for mediocrity, or drain your energy, your progress will be hindered. Your circle influences how high you can rise, and choosing that circle with intention is one of the most important decisions you can make. The people around you act as mirrors, reflecting back your values, beliefs, and behaviors. When you spend time with those who prioritize growth, ambition, and continuous learning, their mindset rubs off on you. Their drive challenges you to raise your standards and strive for more. They remind you that improvement is possible and encourage you to take consistent action towards your goals. These individuals don't let you stay in your comfort zone. They hold you accountable and remind you of your potential even when you doubt yourself. By surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, you adopt habits, perspectives, and attitudes that fuel your growth. Growth-minded people challenge you not by tearing you down, but by encouraging you to push your limits. They provide constructive feedback, share insights, and offer guidance when you need it most. They don't let you settle for good enough because they see the greatness within you. These individuals celebrate your successes, not out of envy or competition, but out of genuine excitement for your progress. Their belief in your potential reinforces your confidence, inspiring you to take bigger risks and aim higher than you thought possible. Equally important is eliminating or distancing yourself from negative influences. Toxic relationships, whether personal or professional, drain your energy, undermine your confidence, and distract you from your goals. These people might constantly criticize, belittle, or discourage you. They may focus on problems rather than solutions or insist that your dreams are unrealistic. While it's not always easy to distance yourself from such individuals, doing so is essential for your growth. You must protect your energy and create space for relationships that nurture and uplift you. Surrounding yourself with the right people also gives you access to invaluable knowledge and experiences. The conversations you have, the advice you receive, and the example others set provide insights you might not have discovered on your own. Being in the presence of individuals who have achieved success in areas you aspire to grow can accelerate your learning curve. They have faced challenges, learned from mistakes, and overcome obstacles, and they can share these lessons with you. Their experiences become a guide, helping you navigate your own journey more effectively and efficiently. It's not just about finding mentors or people who are ahead of you. Surrounding yourself with peers who share your drive and determination is equally powerful. These individuals understand the struggles you face because they're walking a similar path. They offer camaraderie, motivation, and support, creating a sense of community that makes the journey less daunting. Together, you celebrate milestones, tackle obstacles, and inspire one another to keep moving forward. The collective energy of a motivated group creates a momentum that amplifies each individual's growth. To build this kind of environment, you need to be intentional. Seek out people who align with your values and vision for the future. Join communities, attend events, and network with individuals who share your passion for growth. Be open to new connections, but also be discerning. Look for qualities like integrity, ambition, and positivity in the people you spend the most time with. These are the traits that will help you grow. And remember, building strong, meaningful relationships takes time and effort. It's not just about what others can do for you, but also about what you bring to the relationship. Surrounding yourself with the right people doesn't mean avoiding challenges or conflict. The best relationships push you to have difficult conversations and hold you accountable when you stray from your goals. Growth requires facing the truth, and supportive individuals won't hesitate to point out areas where you can improve. They're not there to make you comfortable, they're there to make you better. This kind of support requires mutual respect and trust, which only comes from investing time, energy, and authenticity into the relationship. Your circle reflects your potential. The people who inspire you and challenge you elevate your perspective, showing you what's possible when you refuse to settle. They encourage you to dream bigger, think broader, and act bolder. By surrounding yourself with individuals who embody the qualities you admire, you create an environment where growth becomes inevitable and limitations begin to fade. The desire to get better is not just about having ambition or setting goals. It's about embracing a mindset of continuous growth. It's about understanding that progress, not perfection, is the true measure of success. By competing only with yourself, focusing on intentional effort, and taking action now, you create a path forward. The people you surround yourself with play an undeniable role in your development, either inspiring or limiting your potential. The road to improvement is filled with challenges, but each step forward is a victory. The key is to embrace the journey, trust in your capacity to grow, and keep striving for the best version of yourself. Success is not about waiting for the right moment or achieving flawless results. It's about showing up consistently, adjusting along the way, and never giving up on becoming better. That's our show for today. Thank you for listening, but more importantly, thank you for being along the journey.